Welcome to the Wellbeing Project podcast. I'm Rachel Bulkley, and this is episode 2, The Why. In this episode, I'm going to explain why the project exists and what its mission is. In the next episode, I'll explain the practical details of how it's designed to do that. I'm so glad you're here listening. Let's get into it. I've been around entrepreneurs for a long time. For years, I've heard pitches from visionary founders. The most compelling ones are always about a central problem or pain point and how the new venture is solving it. The Wellbeing Project is a response to human pain. If you listened to episode 1, the origin story, then you know I've experienced plenty of my own. I've also witnessed the pain around me and wondered what to do about it. I'm always trying to understand the deeper meaning and underlying causes of things. I've discovered that problems are not always things to be solved, but clues to greater discoveries. Here's how I see it. It's the 21st century, and we don't have a common understanding of what our species needs to thrive. We've managed to explore the subatomic nature of matter and the properties of distant space, but how to navigate day-to-day life well is still a mystery. It's bananas that we can define the optimal condition for almost every other species, but not our own. Because we don't have a practical understanding of what it means to flourish, our definition of health has become not chronically ill. Seriously. And the result is, well, lots and lots of chronic illness, sick bodies and sick psyches. In March of this year, the National Health Council posted some alarming statistics on the mysterious phenomenon of autoimmune diseases when our own bodies attack themselves. Quote, autoimmunity is reaching epidemic levels, with some studies estimating an increase of 3 to 12% annually. Consider these statistics. Among test subjects, the prevalence of anti-nuclear antibodies, ANA, the most common biomarker of autoimmunity, nearly doubled between 1988 and 2012. In the same study, the prevalence of ANA among adolescents aged 12 to 19 years old increased nearly 300%. The prevalence of type 1 diabetes has nearly doubled in the past 40 years in the adult population. Over the past 30 years, the prevalence of celiac disease in the United States has increased 5-fold, doubling approximately every 15 years. The estimated number of people with multiple sclerosis worldwide increased 30% from 2013 to 2022. And between 2006 and 2021, the prevalence of inflammatory bowel disease, IBD, increased 46%. Although we have no definitive answers on the causes or cures for this epidemic, studies show high correlations between chronic stress and autoimmune onset. Stress has become a way of life for most of us. It's so normalized, we don't even think of it as stress anymore, just the reality of modern life. So it's no wonder that all those stressed out psyches and ailing bodies add up to a sick society. In 1968, one of my heroes, the psychoanalyst Erich Fromm, wrote a book about the problems of our modern technological society. In his book, The Revolution of Hope, he writes, "At the moment, one of the gravest symptoms of our system is the fact that our economy rests upon arms production plus maintenance of the whole defense establishment and on the principle of maximal consumption. We have a well-functioning economic system under the condition that we are producing goods which threaten us with physical destruction, that we transform the individual into a total passive consumer and thus deaden him, and that we have a bureaucracy which makes the individual feel impotent. This year, with the presidential election quickly approaching, the epic frustration with our bureaucracy is everywhere. The discourse has long ceased to be civil. Vitriol has become a normalized method of communication. I don't think I need to keep citing all the ways we see mental and physical health in chronic states, in the individuals we live among, and in society at large. These issues are the why. Let me repeat myself. When we don't know what thriving is, we can't know how to achieve it. One result is a chaotic system of economic growth based on human destructiveness. But just because the results are chaotic doesn't mean the solutions are. In fact, what heals and transforms individuals and societies is always what we deeply want: understanding, connection, and collaboration. The Wellbeing Project is a fresh approach to physical and psychological well-being. It's not a political or ideological message. It's a mission to create common understanding of what human flourishing is and how it is achieved. When we understand that, we can see how far we've gotten from what we actually need. We're also much clearer on how to regain it. The Wellbeing Project is a simple, practical approach to what often feels overwhelming, ambiguous, even impossible. First of all, it's a framework to understand ourselves. The 7 concepts are a systematic explanation of human flourishing, what it is, and how it's achieved. I'm not professing to have the latest divine revelation for mankind. The concepts are just a fresh way of describing the simple truth all of our wise teachers taught. They aren't religious or even spiritual teachings, but they don't negate any religious or spiritual belief. They only address what we share as humans. I like to think of the analogy of macronutrients. All humans need the same macronutrients: carbohydrates, fats, protein, fiber, water. But how we select and prepare them are endlessly different. You and I can both eat a healthy diet, but enjoy totally different foods. The project helps clarify what the macronutrients of human life are, the building blocks required to meet our needs and promote our flourishing. In the next episode, I'll explain exactly how the project works. That's it for this episode. I hope it was meaningful. And until next time, take care. For real. We need you around here.